Some Acuras quietly became absolute gold mines in the used market. And I'm not talking about the flashy ones everyone wants. I'm talking about the cars that got overlooked, the ones that depreciated hard, the ones sitting on used lots right now for half what they should cost. No hype, no badge flex, just smart engineering that holds up when everything else falls apart. These are the Acuras that make sense years after everyone else moved on. The ones that reward patience over impulse, research over emotion. Let's count down 5 of them right now. Number 5, the 2004 to 2008 Acura TSX. Most people don't shop for a first-gen TSX. They stumble into one after getting tired of newer cars that constantly need fixing. We're talking the original generation, back when Acura built cars with pure Honda engineering and zero marketing nonsense. Here's what caught me off guard while digging through owner threads. People weren't defending this car. They were casually mentioning that nothing had broken. Just a naturally aspirated 4-cylinder making just over 200 horses. 5-speed auto or 6-speed manual. No turbo drama, no direct injection headaches. None of the complexity that shows up on repair bills later. Real-world fuel economy, mid-20s city, low 30s highway, which honestly beats most newer, efficient sedans once they age a few years. And here's what keeps coming up. This motor doesn't forgive neglect, but it absolutely rewards consistency. Keep up with oil changes, don't ignore the cooling system. Do that? The timing chain setup means there's no nightmare belt service waiting to destroy your wallet at 100,000 miles. The ownership reality is boring in the best way. Suspension parts wear out, motor mounts eventually soften, early dashboards crack in hot climates. That's pretty much it. No transmission explosions, no weird electrical meltdowns, no surprise engine rebuilds. Prices are where this gets interesting. Clean examples, 5 to 8 grand right now. Manuals sit higher, automatics slightly lower, but both hold value because buyers who know understand this isn't about flexing. It's about buying it and forgetting about it. Sharp steering, balanced handling, an interior that still feels solid a decade later. And once you understand why the TSX works so quietly well, it makes you rethink what bigger really means. Which brings us to number 4. Number 4, the 2007 to 2013 Acura MDX. Let's start with a number that makes people pause. Right now, a second-gen MDX lives in this weird price window. Clean examples, $6,000 to $10,000. That's 3-row SUV money from 15 years ago. And that's exactly why it's dangerous, in the best way. Here's what surprised me while researching this. Owners don't talk about it like some old beater SUV. They talk about it like a tool that just absorbed years of family chaos and kept going. Road trips, snow, towing small trailers, kid damage, all of it. Underneath, naturally aspirated V6 pushing around 300 horsepower, 6-speed auto on the later years. Fuel economy isn't winning awards, high teens city, low 20s highway. But the trade-off is zero turbo stress and a powertrain that doesn't feel like it's struggling when you actually load it up. Now, here's the honesty part. Early years had transmission issues if you skipped maintenance. That's not internet rumor, that's real. Fluid changes matter here. Ignore them, you'll pay. Stay ahead of them, these gearboxes last way longer than people admit. The SH-AWD system is the secret weapon, not because it's flashy, but because it actually works. Snow, rain, uneven pavement, it just grips without drama. And unlike most luxury SUVs from this era, the electronics don't feel like ticking time bombs. The buyer mistake is thinking newer automatically means better. A lot of newer crossovers feel cheaper inside than this MDX. Thinner doors, worse seats, more screens, less substance. This MDX is for someone who needs space but refuses to buy disposable engineering. Someone who wants leather, power, and reliability without paying luxury brand repair taxes. And once you realize how well a big Acura can age,
It makes you curious what happens when they apply that same thinking to a sports sedan. Which brings us to number 3. Quick pause. If this is already changing how you look at the used market, hit like so YouTube knows this isn't clickbait. Subscribe if you want more breakdowns like this without the hype. And drop a comment telling me what city you're watching from. Different markets tell wildly different stories. Alright, this one gets written off way too fast. The 4th Gen TL lives in this weird middle ground. Prices hover between 7 and 11 grand, depending on mileage and drivetrain. And a lot of buyers hesitate because it looks aggressive, almost over-designed. I did too, until I actually dug into what it's like to own one. This TL came from a moment when Acura wanted to prove something. Bigger body, heavier feel, more power. The V6 makes just over 300 horsepower, and when you pair it with SH-AWD, it completely changes the car's personality. This isn't some floaty cruiser, it's planted, confident, and surprisingly serious on back roads for a mid-size sedan. Fuel economy lands where you'd expect, high teens city, mid-20s highway. But the trade-off most people miss is the engine is understressed. No turbo, no exotic tech, just displacement doing the work. And the feedback I kept hearing is these motors last if you don't cheap out on oil and ignore warning signs. Known issues exist, and pretending otherwise is how people get burned. Suspension bushings wear faster than you'd think. Early automatics don't love abuse. Yes, it's heavier than older TLs, but the stuff that doesn't break, that matters more. The engine, the AWD system, the core electronics, those hold together better than most European competitors from the same era. The buyer mistake is shopping this car emotionally. People expect a lightweight sports sedan and walk away disappointed. That's not what this is. This is a fast, comfortable, all-weather daily that happens to be reliable.
Interior quality still holds up. Seats age well. Switchgear feels solid. And unlike newer cars, the tech doesn't feel like it'll date itself into annoyance. This TL is for someone who wants power without turbo anxiety, traction without gimmicks, and a car that still feels expensive years later. And after seeing Acura pull this off in a heavier, more complex sedan, it makes you wonder how simple they kept things when they went smaller again. Which is where number 2 comes in. Number 2, the 2007 to 2012 Acura RDX. Spend 10 minutes reading first-gen RDX owner stories and a pattern jumps out fast. People don't sell these because they want to. They sell them because life changes. New job, growing family, something bigger. And almost every post ends the same way. I kind of regret letting it go. This one caught me off guard. Owners constantly mention how normal it feels to live with, even deep into high mileage. Not exciting normal, dependable normal. The kind that fades into the background because it never demands attention. This was Acura's early turbo experiment. 4-cylinder, making around 240 horsepower. On paper, that scares some buyers. In reality, the setup is conservative. When oil changes are done on time, the turbo isn't the nightmare people assume. Multiple sources pointed out the same thing. Most failures trace back to neglect, not design. Real-world fuel economy? Low 20s combined, slightly better on highway runs. Not class-leading, but acceptable for an all-wheel drive compact SUV that actually feels quick when you lean into it. Here's where ownership reality matters. Suspension components and wheel bearings are wear items. Expect that. Early infotainment feels dated. Accept that. What doesn't happen often is catastrophic engine failure or constant electronic nonsense. That's the difference. Prices are the quiet win. Clean examples usually sit between 6 and 9 grand right now. That's used economy car money for something that still feels solid, quick, and premium enough inside. The buyer mistake is assuming newer compact SUVs are automatically better. Many aren't. Thinner materials, smaller engines working harder, more fragile tech. The RDX feels overbuilt by comparison. This car fits someone who wants SUV practicality but still enjoys acceleration, winter traction, long-term durability without luxury brand stress. And after seeing how well Acura balanced complexity here, it makes you curious what happened when they went even simpler. Because the number one car on this list does exactly that. Number 1. The 2013 to 2022 Acura ILX. The funny thing about the ILX is how often owners defend it without being asked. Dig into owner experiences and you'll see it right away. People don't hype this car, they explain it. They talk about how it starts every morning, how nothing weird has happened, how the cost of ownership stayed boring year after year. And in today's market, boring is valuable. The Acura ILX quietly evolved through a couple of important facelifts that changed how the car feels to live with. The early years, especially 2013 to 2015, are the most basic. Reliable, yes, but clearly entry-level. Then comes the 2016 refresh, where Acura fixed the biggest complaint, the way it looked and felt. Sharper exterior, better interior materials, a car that finally felt intentional. The final update in 2019 cleaned it up again, added safety tech, made it feel far more modern without touching the mechanical formula. And that formula is the entire reason this car works. Naturally aspirated 4-cylinder making just over 200 horsepower, paired to a dual-clutch automatic that's way better than people expect once you drive it calmly. Real-world fuel economy? Mid to high 20s city, low 30s highway, and owners consistently report that number staying stable over time. The reaction when an ILX comes in for service? A shrug. That's a good sign. No turbo failures, no complicated suspension tricks, no electronic horror stories. Maintenance is straightforward. Parts availability is excellent. Prices depend heavily on facelift year. Early models can be found around $8,000. The sweet spot? 2016 through 2018 cars, usually landing between $10,000 and $14,000. Later models cost more, but the ownership story doesn't really change. The buyer mistake is expecting excitement. This isn't that car. It's for someone who wants Acura build quality in the simplest form possible, without paying for size or unnecessary complexity. And that's why it takes the number one spot. 5 Acuras that don't scream for attention. They just quietly reward the people who buy them for the right reasons. If you noticed, none of these are trendy or flashy, and that's the point. They're gold mines because they reward patience, research, buying with your head. If you're shopping smart, these are the cars that still make sense when everything else doesn't.